Today we will be testing out GPT 4.5. It's finally here and we can actually access it and test it out. And we will be comparing it to Grok 3. We are going to get started right away, and as we wait for the model to respond, I will give you some extra information about why this model is important and where you should use it to maximize the performance. So this is an image and I want to see if the model can understand what it says. So I'm going to give it this image and I'm going to ask it, what does this image say? So this is a very different approach versus what is happening in the past. Like, I'm trying to see the image understanding capabilities of the model, and we're going to do the same with Grok. We see that it actually can understand what the image says. That looks pretty good, I gotta say. Tell me the differences between your transcript and the one above. Okay, so let's see what the differences between GPT 4.5 and Grok are on this specific prompt, and we're going to ask it even more prompts. So as we wait for this to happen, this rollout happened 4 days ago, so that's exciting. It took quite a few days to happen, so probably everyone watching this video right now has it available. And this is a research preview, it's not the final model. One thing you should know is that if you use the API, it's so costly to use this model. It's $150 per million tokens outputted. This is so costly. And in all honesty, GPT-4o mini is just very good for most tasks like writing, etc. Now, if you go over the benchmarks really quickly as we wait for the response, we can see here that GPT 4.5 is very good, even on coding. Again, what you have to understand is that this model is not for coding. This model is for creative writing, and this is an important distinction. Again, this is a base model. It's better than GPT-4o for coding and all of these things, and actually it's quite a lot better. But the sole purpose of this model is to be a good base model that can write very good text and have very good understanding. But again, for these kind of things, you want to use reasoning models like O3 Mini, etc. And here we can see how it did on the ARC AGI 1 semi-private evaluation. So we can see that it did not do amazingly well versus the reasoner models. However, it's not that costly as, for example, O1 High. But again, this is not purpose of this model. The great thing is that we can see that the performance is matching O3 Mini Low. So that's a positive. Like, it's not bad. It's as good in terms of reasoning as the worst or the cheapest, reasoner. So that's fine. It's a good base model. That's what you wanted to use it for. But in terms of pricing, I'm not really sure that it really makes sense. Like, DeepSeek V3 and DeepSeek R1 have a lot more competitive pricing than these models. So I don't know if it really makes sense in terms of price difference. So there are some differences. One says 30 October, the other says 20th. I think this is 20th. So this goes to GPT for 4.5. And what I have seen is that it actually has a lot better capabilities. I'm already considering making a second cup of coffee. Okay, so one says consuming, the other says it's consider. So it's considering, and this is also correct from GPT 4.5. Okay, so the capabilities of GPT 4.5 are a lot better than Grok. And Grok, you have to remember that it's very good at generating images. So this is insane. This is very interesting. 4.5 has amazing image understanding capabilities. And I guess this is big. This is important. So let's go over and start. Let's continue with this endeavor where we compare these two models. And I'm going to put the images like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this template for creative writing. So we're going to create a markdown for a specific tool. Okay, this is the template that we are going to use, and we ask it to create a markdown. So I'm going to say here Manus AI. I'm going to embed a video. So let me show you the process of how I'm making templates for my NoFX services website, which is down below in the description. So this is how we actually create these templates that you can access on the website. I will show you exactly how they look on the website, so you can get a little bit of a sense of what we're doing here. So let me copy this. So we put it over here, embed, and we go to use this. Okay, so this is Manus AI. So let me show you what we are creating right now. Maybe that's interesting to you. So we've got this website. It's down below in the description, and it has an AI tool list which you can access and find all of the AI tools along with tutorials on how to use them. This is completely free. So for example, for Lovable, we have this beautiful text, all of the key capabilities of Lovable over here, and here we also got a video that you can watch to understand Lovable. So this is a very great resource for anyone starting out on AI because you can actually access all of these tools with links and tutorials in one place. And we're going to bring you something amazing on this website for free very soon. Stay tuned. So this is the prompt that we want, and this is the prompt that we're going to ask both models. And we also need search here, and Grok 3 probably has search by default. So we're going to ask for a response from both of these. This is automated content creation essentially, but we're using the chat in order to save on API calls and costs. So let's see what the result is. Let's see. In general, in terms of this, I usually use Grok 3, and we can see here how it looks like. Okay, so let's do copy, probably preview markdown. That's a good feature that I would like to have on the website. Maybe NoFX services could build that for us. So let's do this. So this is how it looks like. It's all of this, and the embedded video on the website, it shows a preview. Right now it shows just the link. So that looks good. Structured, nice looking content. Now in terms of this, let's see. So content reference, OA site, index. I don't know what this is, and we're going to ask it to replace that thing. Like, I don't get it. I don't like this conversation. No. Make sure to remove this stuff. Have everything on markdown. So in terms of content creation, Grok is absolutely amazing. Search the web, gave us a response super fast. GPT 4.5, I don't know. We will see. But we have to really compare the copywriting quality. So the handwritten like text, that's what we want to compare. So we don't really... Why does it fail to follow me? Why does it fail to follow the instruction? This is very strange. Content reference site. Well, this is like the preview, I think. But yeah, for some reason, it cannot generate a usable markdown. I really don't understand it. This really doesn't make any sense to me why it cannot even like create a markdown for us. But yeah, I think that goes to Grok 3. Grok 3 wins that one in terms of understanding. I would like to ask both models which model they are. And you know, GPT 4.5 has very small limits because it's a huge model. It's the Orion model. It has like 1 trillion parameters. And the problem with that is that costs quite a lot. So one says I'm GPT 4 Turbo. The other says I'm Grok 3. This makes no sense at all. So let's ask, I don't know, what should we ask? Let's say that it is a creative strategist. Okay, let's go with that. So you are a content strategist for a blog site focusing on AI coding, targeting English-speaking people. Okay, so that's what we do. Okay, and that's what we do. And let's see what the result will be. I'm really interested to see how these models put out ideas. And you can see Grok 3 is absolutely super fast. Like it's amazingly fast. So Grok 3 gives us a description. It gives us a catchy title. That's nice. And an appeal. AI apocalypse, code that thinks, coding at speed of thought. Okay. How will AI transform programming by 2030? Okay, that's a good title. AI job apocalypse or renaissance. Do you code in future categories beyond GitHub Copilot? Content ideas. Okay, so I think the titles by Grok 3 are way more catchy. The titles from GPT 4.5 are a lot more realistic and applicable. Coding in 2030. So I don't know why it says 2030 everywhere, because it's futuristic, so it puts everything into the future, but it does way too much. So what I think here is that for really, let's say creative writing, I think like Grok 3 can have great ideas out of its box. It doesn't follow instructions strictly, so I would give this win to Grok 3 in all honesty. In all honesty, like I'm trying to be fair here. So beyond GitHub Copilot, exploring the next generation of AI pair programming tools. Dive deep into emerging AI coding assistant. Okay, so create a highly detailed report for this topic. Think of it being Blogspot. Return a markdown file that I can directly post on my site. Alright, so what we're going to ask you to do for a final check into creative writing is to actually generate a markdown for a specific topic. So we're going to use both models to do just that. And let's see what the result will be. Let's see what of these two models is best for copywriting and all of these things. Like, because this, because these models are for writing, mainly because they are not reasoning models, I'm trying to give them the benefit of a doubt. So beyond GitHub Copilot, exploring the next generation, the landscape for English developers. Okay, Grok 3 completely failed. Okay, it did not fail. It's still writing. Sorry, my bad. So I absolutely hate these content references. I really cannot understand if this is a bug or if it's not a bug. But I absolutely hate it because I cannot use the result. I cannot use the result. You cannot even access it over here. I don't get it. Like, what is this thing? Why is it like that? It looks great. It has very nice structure, key features, blah, blah, blah. That looks fine, but I cannot really use this answer for content creation. I don't know. The GPT is very disappointing at this point. For practical things, this is incredibly disappointing. I don't know. Okay, so let's do a copy and paste. So let's see the result of Grok 3. Evolution from copyright. Cursor gives you information about cursor, debugging. Claude Sonnet, information about Claude Sonnet. Aider, windsurf, all of these things. Like, you can see here that you have automated content creation. You do a copy paste prompt of template, place like a name, and you got it ready. And GPT 4.5 has all shite references and no access to references. Really, it feels like to me that OpenAI is not very practical at this point. Look at this. This looks great. You can enhance it a little bit, put some extra information, but most of the things are here. You don't need a lot of other things. I don't know. Grok 3 is amazing for me. Place some tables with benchmarks on the markdown. Add some links to resources, tools. Okay, so let's do one more question to Grok 3. I know this video is about GPT 4.5, but you know, Grok 3 just bet it. It really beat it, and it's obvious that it beat it. I'm really sorry to share this, but this is the truth. You can see here how easy it is to create in-depth reports with Grok 3. Really, when this API opens, I'm just going to use the heck out of it. Like, it just makes sense. It's super fast, super easy. Right now it's free. GPT 4.5, it's gated. You gotta pay OpenAI for subscriptions. That's the truth. We gotta say the truth, guys. We gotta say the truth. They don't have the code. But yeah, the problem is that this works well. GPT 4.5 as a very costly model did not work well. It did not work well. And that's just the truth. Let's see the markdown preview. Okay, so let's paste this. We can see the tables here. Super nice. This is really high quality thing. This is an amazing automated report with just 2 prompts and all of the links here. This is amazing. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.